Hey guys, it's me, Vanessa. I wanted to make a video for my week 33 post-op from VSG surgery, but I also want to make a Q&A video for my 100 pounds lost. So yes, I am officially 100 pounds down, well 100.4 to be exact. So let's start with the weigh-in first and then I'll get into the Q&A. This morning I weighed in at 179.6 pounds. So that's a loss for this week of 2 pounds. Down 55.66 surgery and down 100.4 from my very highest weight back in 2014. Now, I did do really well with my exercise. I completed week 2 of PiYo for the week, and I also got in my water, and I was able to eat well from Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday did not go the best. I actually had a Halloween party on Saturday night, and then Sunday I went out to eat. So did not make the best choices, but I still was able to get out of the 180s and I'm officially out. So I'm very happy about that. And my goal now is to get below 175. And I like to do the 5-pound increments. That way there's smaller goals and I can focus on smaller portions of weight that I have to lose instead of looking at the big picture of, you know, having to lose 30 more pounds. So that's my main goal. Now I am wearing this shirt right here. Is a top that I wore when I was at 280 pounds. It's a 3X, and I guess what I can do is show you exactly what it looks like now. This is the shirt, and as you can see right here, it's like a dress. And then this is how big it is. This shirt used to fit me very tightly, and now I've got all this room. Very helpful is if you can keep one item of clothing, like one top and one pair of pants. That way you can actually see the changes, because as a question I'll answer in a bit, it's one of those things where you don't really see it as you go through it. And so it's very helpful to have pictures and pieces of clothing that you can look at to actually see the difference, because the whole process is kind of slow. So you don't really see the drastic change like a lot of people who haven't seen you in years or a few months. So it does help. Okay, so about surgery. What surgery did I have? I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. A lot of times you will see VSG as a, a shortened way of saying it. So VSG is a weight loss surgery that the surgeon takes off 80 to 90% of the stomach. So a normal stomach is about the size of a football. And with any type of weight loss surgery, you're decreasing the amount of stomach that you have. So with the gastric bypass, just the regular R&Y, you have about the size of an egg, and with the VSG, vertical sleeve, you have the size of a banana. So for me, I can eat about a cup in one sitting, and that's about it. So I notice, especially when I eat out, my eyes sometimes are still bigger than my stomach, where I think I can eat a lot more than I can. And this is why the surgery is helpful, because it really does. It really helps you focus on the amount that you're eating. But also remember that the stomach is a muscle and it can stretch out. So through time, a year or so post-op, the stomach does get bigger, and so you're able to eat more. So it's just very important that you keep the portions smaller and that you're very in tune with the size of your stomach and the way it should be, so that you don't stretch it out too much. So that's that question. How long is recovery? And did I need any help? And especially with small children. So the recovery time for VSG is about 2 weeks long, which is pretty quick. I remember when I had my gallstones, I had my gallbladder taken out. And I remember that surgery about the same time, 2 weeks. But this one was actually easier to recover from. And I don't know why, because it's laparoscopic also. This one was just a little easier. I don't know if it's just because it's a stomach compared to cutting out an organ. I don't know. I really don't know. Now the problem I had though was pain and nausea. So when I got out of anesthesia, I actually was very nauseous and I needed to be on round-the-clock medications. Because I was taking Oxy and Tylenol together, well, actually I wasn't taking it together. I was taking Oxy and then 2 hours later or 4 hours later, I was taking Tylenol and then alternating between those. And so I was, you know, comfortable around the clock and I didn't have to worry about pain. But I noticed that if I let my pain go, that I was getting nauseous again. So I had to do that. And with any type of narcotics, you're going to be kind of out of it. So that's why I say, at least, especially for the first week, you're definitely going to need help if you have small children, to watch them and to take care of them. I remember sleeping a lot during the first week of surgery, especially because you're not able to eat as much. And the whole thing is you have to constantly drink liquids. And I remember maybe I got in 200 calories for the full day in the first week. So you're very low in calories, very low on liquids. So it's one of those things where you're going to need help because you can't take care of someone else while you're trying to take care of yourself. And it also helped having someone check up on me. So the first week, especially the first 4 days, were the worst. And so it helped that, you know, my husband would come up and check if I was taking my medication, or to make sure that I was drinking my fluids. He would constantly check like how much I was drinking and to make sure I was still on track. And if I slept too long, he would wake me up to drink. So definitely the first week, if you can get help the first 2 weeks, that was also helpful. But the second week, I actually felt way better. So a week max that you'll need help after surgery. And if you have complications though, obviously that's going to change the amount of time, but just regular, if you have no complications, about a week. Emotional eating and how I cope. So this surgery has not changed my brain. I still go through those times where I do want to binge and I do want to eat things that I know is not good for me. So it's very, very important that I do plan ahead of time and that I keep certain foods out of my house and I don't allow those foods. A good example is me with sodas and Cheez-Its. I actually tried eating Cheez-Its about 2 months post-op and I found that I just couldn't do it. It's a binge food for me and I can't control my portions. So those are the certain foods that I cannot eat for the rest of my life. I might try it again at a year out to see how I do, but there's, like I said, there's certain foods that I just cannot eat because I can't control my portions. And during the week, I actually don't buy a lot of junk food in the house. And if I do, I get a smaller amount or something that I will not binge on. And so that helps too. It's one of those things where it's really hard to say that, you know, you won't have any of these issues after surgery, because it's not true. Your brain, like I said, your brain is not fixed, only your stomach, and you will make yourself sick, yes, and maybe that will stop you from, you know, emotionally eating and eating just, you know, junk food just because you feel bad or you're happy or whatever, but it's one of those things where you really have to work on you and making healthier habits. And the one thing I do notice though that really helps with any kind of stress eating or lonely eating is to make sure that I'm eating healthy food at least every 3 hours. So I break up 5 meals during the day. They're smaller meals. They're about a cup in one sitting. And so because I eat every 3 hours, I'm not physically hungry, and that really, really helps, especially when I do take in fiber, where I have fruit and vegetables that I eat with my protein. And so that helps to keep me physically satisfied. And so the emotional, it kind of helps because I don't get to that point where I feel like I need to eat. Daily water and getting it in. So with me, this water bottle here, this is my 3rd one that I'm having today. So for me, I have to get in at least 80 ounces of water because I get in about 16 ounces with my shakes and my coffee. So I'm getting in, you know, the almond milk, but I also need to get in liquids. And so water is my choice. And the way I do it is I break it down throughout the day. So I don't allow myself to, you know, catch up. I make sure that I schedule, you know, 20 ounces in the morning, 20 ounces before lunch, 20 ounces after lunch, and then 20 ounces before I go to bed. And if I need more, I will add, you know, like if I'm running or doing a workout that causes a lot of sweating, I'll add another 10 or 20 ounces to my water that day. But breaking it up, it really helps in having a water bottle with you everywhere you go. So I make sure that when I go out to appointments or out, you know, sightseeing or traveling, that I always have a water bottle with me. And I track it all on my Fitbit app and my FitnessPal. So that way I can see that I'm getting my 80 ounces that I need for the day. When eating out, what do I get? So I'm a huge believer of getting what you want. I don't, unless it's during Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, I stick to a strict plan, so I make sure that I stick to the best option that I can. But during the during the weekends, I actually focus on just what I want. So if I want something a little fried, I will get it, but I'll get it with vegetables. If I want something that's like, you know, like comfort food, I will usually just have a few bites from my family member if they get something like fries or pasta. Pizza I still can't eat. So my options are really not that big. So I have no problem with sushi. I can eat sushi with rice. I can eat tortillas. I can eat any type of breaded meats. I have no problem with that. Pastas though, I don't eat. And pizza, bread, a lot of bread I don't eat. So my options are just whatever I want at that time. And what I usually do is I half my meal. So I will automatically have the other half packed up. And if I don't eat certain things, or like, let's say I just want a little bit of something, I will usually share with a family member. So that's what I choose when I eat out. Anything that I would change. Okay, so with this surgery, I think I've done everything to the best of my ability. So I really don't regret any choices that I've made. I'm very happy with the fact that I did work on getting in fruits and vegetables, mostly fiber, from the very beginning, because I haven't had issues with constipation like a lot of people have. I also make sure that I get in my needed calories. So my first goal at a month out was to get in minimum 1,000 calories, and now I'm at about 1,100 to 1,200 a day for the weekdays. And then weekends, I do go higher. My goal is 1,400 calories during the weekends, but sometimes I go up to 2,000. So, you know, I guess what you could say is what I do wish I didn't do was go crazy during the weekends, because there have been times where I have eaten a lot more than I should, and I know I've made choices that aren't the best for me. And yeah, that has helped make my weight loss slower. But if I look at the big picture of it, I actually think it helped me more because I'm learning. I'm learning through habit, and I'm learning through, you know, the way my mind works and my body works. And I'm taking care of myself. Even though weight loss is slower, I'm taking care of myself to where I maintain the weight loss and I keep it off when I get to goals. So I actually think it's the best decision for me. As far as having the surgery itself, I think it's the best decision I made, and I wish I would have made it earlier when I was younger, but I'm happy with my choices, and I'm very, very happy. How do you deal with head hunger? Same thing I said, eating every 3 hours, having 5 small meals a day, and mixing it with fruits and vegetables, lots and lots of fiber. That has helped. Especially, I try to get in at least 35 grams of fiber a day. If I can, 25 minimum, and it's really helped. Emotional side of weight loss surgery, it is different. It's something that, you know, I have lost 45 on my own, and it took me about 3.5 years to lose that. So that is a long amount of time to lose, you know, that weight. But when you're doing weight loss surgery, you're more successful in the first year of losing weight quicker. And so losing 55 pounds in the short amount of time that I have in that 7 months, it's hard for my mind to catch up to where I am. So, you know, when I go out to shop, this is another question, but when I go out to shop, sometimes I still think that I'm that 1X or extra large person. A good example of this is when I went to go get a top I went to go search for a top last week. And when I went, I automatically grabbed the extra large because that's the size I'm in right now. And I was like, well, let me just try the medium. Just because, you know, I've never been in a medium for a long time. You know, I was in a medium back in, I think, 2003? Not even, I think way before that. So mediums are something that I was not always wearing and I wasn't always aware of. So I decided to try a medium, and it fit. And so that just goes to show that our brains don't quite catch up to where we are. And there's sometimes where I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, oh, that's me. And so I do the same thing when I get pictures taken. Other people will take a picture of me and I'm like, wow, I look tiny. I don't feel that way. And so that's how it is. It's so weird how the mind just hasn't quite caught up yet. And like with this top, you know, trying this top on, this thing is huge on me. And I still think of myself as that larger person. I don't think that I'm as small as I am until I try on certain, you know, clothes, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I can wear that. So definitely it takes a while for the brain to catch up. What's the changes that I've had since losing 100 pounds? So I do remember back in 2014, just walking a mile was a lot of energy and it was really hard for me. I remember just starting to run when I was at 250-ish pounds. So it's complete change. It's different. I can do certain things that I couldn't do before. Touching my toes, tying my shoes, crossing my legs, you know, simple things like that. Day-to-day activities that you just, now I take for granted that I couldn't do back then. So that's a huge change. Sitting in a chair, my thighs, when I'm sitting next to someone, my thighs don't touch the other person, which is a huge thing. It's different. When I'm in the car, my seatbelt doesn't go all the way up to my neck. It actually goes across my stomach the way it's supposed to. Going into, you know, seats when you're in an airplane, you fit more comfortably. Traveling is a lot more comfortable. And, you know, just certain things like that. It's activities. When I can run now, I don't have as much stress on my knees. When I do planks, when I exercise or sit-ups, I'm able to do them a lot easier. I don't have that stomach that's holding me back anymore, and it feels amazing. Back pain, I don't have as much issues with back pain that I did before. So yeah, things are definitely better. Huge change from 100 pounds. It's incredible the change that I've gone through, and I'm so happy. I'm very happy. Okay, so changes in my taste. Definitely taste has changed, and I think a lot of it has to do with the time frame before surgery and after surgery that you're not eating certain foods. So I don't know if you've ever been on a diet that's very bland, that you're low sodium, low fat, sugar-free, that type thing. So if you're on a diet, at first it seems like it's the nastiest food ever, and then your taste buds get used to it. And then when you go back and let's say you eat out somewhere after you've been eating healthy for quite a long time, you notice changes. You're like, oh, that's really salty. That doesn't taste that great. Well, the same thing is with surgery. So you're going months on end eating just very bland stuff with not a lot of spices, not a lot of fat, not a lot of sugar. So your taste completely changes. And so I do notice that, especially when I did buy some Pop-Tarts not too long ago that are the pumpkin pie. Those are extremely sweet. And I was able to have one and I was like, oh, I don't know. I'll probably have one like months later because they're just way too sweet. And so definitely my taste has changed. I love vegetables now. It's one of my favorites. And I used to be really huge on pasta. And because I haven't eaten it in a long time, I don't crave it anymore. And it's not one of those things where I feel like I have to have. So yeah, definitely. So the last question is a huge one, and I will go more in depth in another video. But let me just, touch the basics. The question is would I get the same results without surgery? And from experience, I have, like I said, I've lost 45 pounds on my own without surgery, and it took a long time. And it can be done. Someone can lose weight on their own without surgery, definitely. But the surgery has helped me with binge eating. I'm a binge eater, so I found myself, I would lose weight and I would regain weight that I lost because of binging. And when I would binge, I would eat about 5,000 calories max. And that would be between, I remember going like 3,000 to 5,000 easy that I could eat in one day. Now, the max I eat is about 2,000 calories. So definitely the surgery has helped in that, but it's not, like if you can't afford the surgery, like your insurance doesn't cover it, you can still lose weight the old-fashioned way, definitely. Surgery though has helped. Now, in a year from now, I think I set myself up for success because I made sure that I got to 1,200 calories a day. So I think, when I increase my calories a little bit to like 1,400 to 1,600 during maintenance, I think I will be fine. I don't think that I will have a problem with weight gain, like if I were to do under 1,000 every day and then jump up to 1,600. So I think that was why my main goal was to work up to 1,200 a day. And on weekends, I allow myself to have more because I want my metabolism to be healthy. I want to be able to burn calories that I need to, and I want, to take care of myself. And so, yeah, that was very important for me. And so, yeah, I really do believe people can lose weight. Like I said, I lost 45 on my own. It took longer, but I was able to do it. Now, would I change what I did? Absolutely not. I think the surgery has helped me greatly. It gave me more control. Food is my issue, especially junk food. Like I said, I'm an emotional binge eater, and I do believe that the surgery has helped greatly in that, especially if any of you are struggling with the same issues. But you do have to work on those issues during this process also. I can't expect for the surgery to fix me 100% without doing a little work with my mind and myself. So it's very important that, if you do have food addiction and if you have binge eating issues, that you start working on this now, especially before surgery. You start working on these because the surgery will not help for life. The stomach will stretch and you will be able to eat things that you shouldn't eat later. And like they say, the honeymoon period is over within a year. So it's very important to keep that in mind. But yeah, the surgery has helped, but you can definitely do it on your own. And that's the last of the questions because I already did the shopping one. Shopping is amazing. I love shopping now. Like I said, there's some times where I will think I'm a certain size, but I have to try on different sizes because it's one of those things that, you know, my brain hasn't quite caught up. Now, the one thing I can say about shopping is to make sure that you try on clothing all the time before you buy. Now, obviously, if you order online, you won't be able to try it until after you get it. But if you're shopping in a store, try on clothing, try on sizes, even if you don't think you might fit into it, try it on and see which one works best for you and looks best on your body. Because the body that you had 50 pounds heavier is not the same shape as you will have when you're smaller. So things that look good on me before don't necessarily look good on me now. And so I have to be really careful to try different items of clothing to see which one works best for the body that I have right now. So, but yeah, so I hope you liked this video, and let me know what kind of questions you would like me to answer. I can do a more in-depth on a topic if you would like I have been doing before, if that helps, because this video is quite long and I'm not able to say everything I want to say because I want to try to keep it shorter. And yeah, that's about it. So I will talk to you all next week, and wish me luck, that everything goes well with the skin and that the cream helps. And yeah, all right, you guys have a great week. Bye.